Hello and welcome to the PM Show, your weekly roundup of all what's new and going on and the Star Wars releases this week. So, it's arrived at last.
Yes, it seems to have arrived, yes.
It has.
In its droves.
It's funny really, isn't it? After all the kits this year where people have been, quite excited about and all the rest of it, it wasn't a Spitfire, it wasn't an F-16 or something normal, if you like. It happens to be from the Mandalorian, which isn't mainstream, let's face it, unless you're a Disney Plus or dodgy subscriber to some third-party people. Hey, Andy.
I have Disney Plus.
So have I now, I must admit. So I'm all caught up now. I'm all good. But to say that it's probably been the most asked about kit since it was announced its release. We've had a pre-order of 60 orders on it as well, kits. So again, it's one of those ones that it's quite left field, but everyone's got right behind it. And also, I have to say, I think it's better than the Bandai one, because the Bandai one's tiny. It fits in the palm of your hand, for Christ's sake. Yeah. Which was a surprise to me, because when Bandai announced their one, I assumed it was going to be the same scale as, obviously, the Revell one. And when it turned up, it's tiny. So, but actually, very, very nice. So it is nice to see that, at last, we have got in stock the actual Bandai Mandalorian, which, let's face it, the Razor Quest, we was expecting it, I was, to come in after Christmas now. I didn't think we were actually going to see it before Christmas. So very nice that it is here too. And also the, it's the TIE Fighter with the funny wings.
Outland TIE Fighter. I've just changed my mic. I've just remembered I didn't do it.
Oh, right, okay.
So it might get better sound off me now instead of an echo. The Outland TIE Fighter is also coming as well, as you can see. Mm-hmm. So, it's bigger in it. I think it's bigger than a normal one, I think.
156 scale, isn't it? Or is it 165 scale?
156 scale, it says on here.
56.
Oh, no, 165 scale.
Yeah.
That was it. And that's 1/72 scale. So, again, one of them odd sci-fi scales. But it obviously works.
See, I can't wait to see a Mandalorian at the side of the Millennium Falcon, because they're the same scale, aren't they?
Yes.
Shame that
this is it. Yeah.
Yeah. Shame that the Outland TIE Fighter isn't in that scale, so they all go together. Because now I want to do, because I've been looking forward to the Mandalorian for a long time, and now I want to do all of the 1/72 scale Star Wars stuff.
Yes. And the trouble is, though, is obviously that Bandai, in their infinite wisdom, have done some of them in 72nd scale, and then some of the bigger ships they've done in funny scales. And it's one of those things, if you go back in history, was it MPC?
Yes.
The original ones.
Yeah.
And they do 72nd like the Slave One.
Yeah.
And things like that as well. So, again, you could, if you wanted to, pay a fortune on eBay, go through and get them all in the 72nd scales and 48 scales for the bigger stuff as well. Because obviously I've got down there the TIE Fighter and the X-Wing and all the rest of it in 48 scale, which is the old fine molds, which were then reboxed by Revell a couple of years ago before they decided to, go their own route with it, really.
Yeah.
So, yes, interesting. But I must admit, I'm excited about the Razor Quest because, again, it can sit nicely alongside the Millennium Falcon, and a couple of the other ones I've got floating around here as well. So it'll be a nice one in. I'm surprised about the actual Outlander TIE Fighter because it was only in the show for a blink.
10 minutes.
Really? Yeah. He lands in it, gets out, has a chat, and then you don't see it ever again. So, it's interesting. So now we know how TIE Fighters land on land. They fold up.
I suppose really, if you think about it, there wasn't much else they probably could have done.
No.
I suppose, you know what I mean. So I don't know. It is what it is, and it's Star Wars, so they know it's going to sell. But I think that's just a cool looking spaceship. To be honest, I think whoever designed it originally is it right. The nail on the head with the design of that. I think it's brilliant.
And again, I think it's nice that from a film point of view, as well as a model making point of view, it was a practical model.
Yeah.
It's a practical effect. They built the ship. So it's not one of these where it's just CGI, it never existed, and all the stuff that goes with it. Hold on, I'll put you on full screen.
Put the side box. Not much on the box, to be honest.
Yeah.
So there you go, there's a bit of the sprues and all that business. There's nothing really on the back, look. It's just... But it's actually not a bad box for a Revell.
No.
It's just one of the
It's still an open-end box,
it's
yeah.
not a top opener, but it's all right. It's not. It's not too bad, and I don't mind the box art. I think the box art's quite cool.
Yes, yeah. It seems to be the way they've gone with this sort of Mandalorian look with the lighter shades and the boxing, isn't it? Instead of the usual black that is on pretty much all the others. So very, very nice indeed.
So anyway, yes. Get one in the post with a few other bits and bobs, like we've said, because you've been waiting for that, so I could post it. So I'll probably get that boxed up and out to you tomorrow. So hopefully you'll get it if posted thingy for Friday.
Yes.
Because we're on Tuesday
my secret
today.
Christmas project, is it? I'll build it over Christmas.
Yes, you can sit there building it over Christmas.
Definitely. But yeah, no, very, very nice indeed. And also the Millennium Falcon Bandai one, which is this one, which we've spoken about, is back in stock as well.
Well, it's back in and out, but they will be back in again because we literally sold one as we spoke, shall we say. Because they did come in and his invoice to people who's asked. And then I had a phone call for a guy who came and picked one up, actually. So
he sold mine, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I've sold Andy's.
To be honest, it's the way of this kit, because don't forget, that's what happened to me a few times as well before I got mine. So it's got good history for being sold on and not arriving and all the rest of it. So, yeah. Very nice.
There are more to be had if people are quick. If they want one, just I said message Andy and we'll get them and get you invoiced and we can get them to you. So, happy days with that. It's just been busy, to be honest. We have just had like pre-orders on top of pre-orders and other stuff that's come in as well. It's been really busy, like 3 or 4 days. Obviously, the weekend's been in between. But yeah, everything's sort of coming last minute.
Well, that's what we were saying, isn't it? It's always the way, a lot of this we were thinking would never be in time for Christmas. And I must admit, I'd resound myself to thinking, certainly like the Razor Quest, and that wasn't going to be in before Christmas. I didn't think we were going to see the Blackbird, the SR-71 before Christmas.
No.
So all of a sudden, they all piled in right behind each other. And then again, we had the thing with the Hornets all racking up in one. Everything literally has come in this last week. So
the Ed kits, the Tora Desert Babes come in as well. So everything. I think this is it now. Me and Andy were just talking for the show. We think the pre-orders for this year are done.
Good.
I can't think of anything else that's doing.
Yeah.
And it's a bit late.
That'll do us for this year.
Yeah.
We've certainly been a hell of a year, and a big thank you to everybody who supported us this year. Obviously with the pre-orders as well. As we said, it's what's made PM Models work, I think, as well as it has been thanks to the membership, obviously, of Flory Models and general public at large supporting obviously the site this year. We'll do a bit more of this next week, I think, but definitely it's one of those things that I know we moan about it. It's one of those things you shouldn't moan about it. Even though it's all turned up together, stripped us out of boxes and all the packaging that goes with it and everything else. And obviously poor old Andy's got her invoice every poor bugger for doing this. So it's one of those things, we shouldn't really complain about it because at least they're here, which is the main thing. But so this week, as you see, you got it up here on our latest arrival. So obviously the Razor Crests are in, sort of 60 quid for a kit. It is big. I know obviously you can't see, but it's actually a lump. So, it's interesting to put it up against the Millennium Falcon when it's done as well. So the TIE Fighter, a little bit smaller, to be honest with that one. The Hornets, which I will get the review done this week. I'm going to do the Growler because obviously I've already done the Echo, the single seat. There's not a lot between that and obviously with the Foxtrot being 2-seaters and that. So I'll cobble something together as a review for that one. The Hobby Boss U2 Dragon Lady 72nd one. Again, I've literally done the review of that today because if you don't know, we're recording this a bit different on a Tuesday afternoon instead of a Wednesday morning. So by the time you see that review will be up with you. The SR-71 Blackbird is obviously in as well, which is obviously the nice new tooled one. And it's interesting because it seems to be quite a few being built of that one already. That one going down there. A couple of other Revell Star Wars one, the Imperial Patrol Speeder. Saying that one. Very nice as well. I see you can get, in the Mandalorian, which one was it actually? I think it's the Star Wars, the last one, which is Rise of Skywalker. It looks like a snow speeder. It's got Caterpillar tracks on the front of it.
I've not seen that.
Oh, you'd seen it, yeah.
Well,
it's like an upgrade to that one, the actual patrol one. So it looks basically like a snow speeder with lasers and all the rest of it, and it's got like it looks like a tank track on the front of it type of thing instead. Somebody's done a 3D printed one and it's huge. It's like that bearing in mind it's got to be like 1/6 scale or whatever it is. Very impressive. It'd be interesting to see what I'm getting to the point is if Rev will release that as a kit. Not at that scale, clearly, but as a normal scale one. Because they've done all of those types of things. So, it'd be interesting to see if that one does pop down the line later on.
Do you think you'll ever see his speeder bike in the Mandalorian thing that he was...
Yeah, because that's like a hybrid type thing, isn't it? From the normal speeder bikes, isn't it, to that one? Yeah, it's a bit more... I call it like his version's like a hot rod version, isn't it?
It's like chopper. It's a chopper
it's
version,
like it's a chopper version because the handlebars are proper up here, aren't they, and all the rest of it. So yeah, it's like it's a cut and shut version of it. But yeah, I'm surprised Revell have jumped on the Mandalorian as much as they have. I'm incredibly glad they have done because to say raise a question that scale, we know there's another one, but we're pretty sure it's the same kit, isn't it? Just it's a rebox of. So again, it would be nice if we start to see it. And obviously now they've done Mandalorian, will they be doing Book of Boba Fett? You know,
I think you're going to have to.
The licensing seems to be that way. So.
I think you've got to think if there's some cool vehicles, and I wonder if that's why Slave One's been pulled by because the Bandai one you can't get anymore.
No.
Yeah.
If it has been pulled because of the book, because obviously he's still going to bomb around in Slave One, isn't he? So
yeah.
I presume there's going to be kits of that. That's just such a popular thing anyway, and whoever's done one and pull one out. So
I suppose if they pay for the license, they've got to get the money back somehow. So they might as well bang the kit.
Yeah. What I'm really glad about, I suppose, the biggest part is that they're not kids click type, which I don't think there's anything wrong with them because I do build them, and you've probably seen the videos. I was going to bring it down. I've done quite a few of their ones. I did the Y wing, I've done the A wing. We did the lander, shuttle, Tidarium shuttle, which are technically kids click kits ones, simple kits, but actually a little bit of filler. And they make really fantastic models, and I assumed when it was first mentioned about it was going to be the Mandalorian, I thought that's what we were going to get, a simple click fit type kit, which wouldn't have been a problem. I've still done it, so it's nice to see that Revell have actually said no, we're going to do it as a full kit, which I think they're level 3, which is sort of intermediate kits, so definitely good ones to see.
Do you think they've missed a trick by not doing it as a kid's kit? Because kids, it's Star Wars. Kids, I can 100% see the point of the kids click fit kits for getting them into the hobby. You know what I mean? And it's like Star Wars and and the Mandalorian as well. I don't know. Like I say, I'm glad it's a proper kit, but also I wonder if they perhaps down the line they might do a simpler.
I think they might do one. I think from the point of view of being a kids click fit one, the Mandalorian isn't really a kids film, is it? I think, or series. I think it's slightly aimed at more the maturer people. Just because the storylines are quite they're not Disney-fied, are they? So
I can see them doing say a 100 scale one or a 114. To make it a small thing rather than. Yeah, the big beast that is, but
it's a space western, isn't it? They call it.
Yes, it is definitely. Yeah,
which it is, isn't it? Really,
it is definitely.
It's a bit the man with no name, isn't it? It's a bit Clint Eastwood-esque in space, I suppose.
It is. Oh, definitely. But no, it's nice to see they're out, and I'm glad Revell have done it, definitely. And I'm glad, obviously, it's a full model kit rather than a click fit one for the kids. But again, in some ways, it's quite nice to get the kids involved to get those types of kits, because I've built them. They are good. If anyone's ever sitting on the fence with the lights and sound version that they do, it's very tacky and annoying, especially every time you press it by mistake. But you can soon filler over it and all the rest of it, and give them a repaint, and they look really, really good. So and they only take I've built them as live builds, haven't I? It's literally half hour. They're done. They're great. Yeah. So the fit is always pretty good with them. So
the thing is, though, you say about click fit, but really, like you built that Bandai Walker I gave you, and that's click fit.
Yeah.
So's that. This is a 400, 300 and whatever 50 quid click fit kit, because the only bit of glue's on that is for these, so that's it. The rest of it, there's no glue in that. In theory, and it was always the point, I could take this apart because there's no glue holding any of the major parts together. It's all still literally, the only thing is glued is a very fine detail at the back here. They're supposed to be wedge in and push in, but I was always a little bit wary because obviously with the washing and scrubbing that had come out, so I've actually glued the wiring all down the back here and the hoses and stuff in there, but the rest of it is all still technically a loose fit. I wonder if it still lights up. Where's my here we go, hold on. all lights on. She still should. The lighting kit, just to say to everyone, actually still comes. If you can see it on camera. Just about. But obviously it's got lighting internally in the cockpit. If you can, probably won't be able to see it in there. And also it's got the landing bays are lit up as well on the back. So obviously those ones dropped out, but because it fits in here. But yes, very nice indeed.
Now you need to just build a Moss Eisley spaceport to go with it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I need an extension or a garage for that. But no, that's it. I think, as you say, they are fantastic kits. They're very expensive, but the rewarding part is there.
Yeah.
Because I've had people say to me, and they've come round and they've gone, "Oh, I thought it was bigger than that." And it's like, Christ, how big do you want it? They were like, "Well, it's like, lots of money." Yes, it is. But again, it's that iconic. You're only ever going to build one, in theory. So if you're going to do one, you might as well do one that's proper spot on. And again, if you're ever worried about your building skills and you're thinking, do you know what, I would love to, but I could never do anything like that, this is Bandai. So as long as you follow the instructions and just take your time with it, and remember the golden rule, if it doesn't fit, it's you. You've done something wrong. It's either you've got your left and your rights around the wrong way, because a lot of these parts are mirrored and they're keyed. So you can't put the left one on the right hand side vice versa like that. So, just take your time with it and make your way through, but anybody can do that. And don't forget, it's all decals on this, which are on this as well. There's no fancy paint job particularly, and it's just a wash right over the top and some oils. So it's one of those where it's like, it looks a lot more impressive from a build, and then I have to take credit, it's the kit, not me.
I find it a shame sometimes that you can't build the original Millennium Falcon before Han Solo got his hands on it. With the front
on it
and everything.
Yeah, well, they do, and I did have it because I've got it over there, and I use it for demos as well. The ClickFit one, Revell one, that one has.
Oh, right.
So I've got it here, but I've already fired the end off, and I don't know where it went. But right. It has got the bit on the front as well, and all the rest of it, and obviously it's in the blue, because obviously it's different paint job on it. But Revell do a ClickFit version with it on the front, so you can have it with the proper bit on there.
Not bad for a winning in a game of cards, is it?
This is it. So yes, very, very good. But no, it's that season. Do you know what? This year's a funny year, because I know we got Book of Boba Fett coming, but there's always a Star Wars film or a big Disney thing, and this year we haven't had one. I feel cheated.
I can't believe it's week and a half till Christmas, isn't it?
Oh, gee, I know. Tell me about it. In my head, I'm still 2 or 3 weeks till Christmas.
Yeah, I was thinking that the other day. I was thinking it's 2 weeks, and it's not.
And it's not. We got the end of this week. Well, Saturday, and then that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, so at least, like I say, these have come in before, so everybody should get them post, permitting.
Yes.
Before Christmas, so that'd be nice for everybody, because we were just saying about that. It'd be a bit criminal if then to release it before, or it hasn't come in before Christmas, especially the Razor Quest. So yes.
That's what scale is that? Can we remember?
It didn't have one. It
didn't have a scale. But I'm just wondering, is that about the same scale?
It's tiny.
Because I don't know. If you imagine a Viper coming out of here and going around that, it's not that much in it. So
I bet. I don't know. They just because they never just put a scale on to it, did they? It was just small.
No, this is to 1,100. 1,405.
The Galacticas were massive things, though, weren't they?
Yes, I assume so. I don't know. I was just thinking by the size of the crew that's in that to this from the bridge. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they had thousands of people on those things, though, didn't they? So.
I'm going to say that. Yeah, I think it's a bit overscaled. To be honest, I think it would be like a little ant dot.
Okay, fair enough.
But probably. Yeah, I can see where you put perspective, Phil.
Force perspective. Yeah, this guy's a long way away. Do-rule. This one's close. Yeah. So, but no. Anyway, that's all good stuff that's come in this week. Anything else we need to mention in new arrivals?
No, because this is it really. I say most of it were last week as well. Obviously, you mentioned on Friday the Hornets that was in.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes.
And the U2, didn't you? Because they came in later on. But obviously, everything else, no, pretty.
Yeah, just to point out, the obviously this is the F2-seater Hornet, Hobby Boss one. The Growler, if you're wondering where it is, we've done a special offer on it straight away, haven't we? So that's where this is. Because again, it dropped on us so quickly that we didn't even know it was coming in until literally it was coming. So normally we would do a pre-order and that. Because we haven't done it, we put it straight up onto a special price. So obviously people haven't dipped out on that one.
But that'll probably be going down before the end of the week, though, won't it? So
yeah, so if you want it, grab it.
It'll be back into normal sections.
Yeah, we're back into new arrivals, and then just whatever we'll put up, so the Spitfires and whatever else. So and then
those Spitfires, I think, are a bargain for the price they are and the quality. Yeah, what I know it's the Rebel kit which Phil's got there, but builds into a nice kit. And
I think we've had. Did you see the members one that got put up on the site?
Yes.
Absolutely stunning, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like he's done a little bit more than I've clearly done to mine. So he's put into it, I think it's a Quinta Studios cockpit, and a couple of little bits, a couple of guns and things. That's all he's done to it. And like he said, he puts that on a par easily with the Tamiya 120 quid version. So even though he spent a few quid on extras for it, it's all it needs. Again, if you don't want the engine, you're not worried about showing the engine. That's the only difference. Obviously, there's no engine in this. But for detail-wise, yeah, absolutely. He's fallen in love with it as well. I'm going to weather this before Christmas as well. So we'll get that one finished is my plan.
The Spitfires are all different prices because some of them you get a bit of resin with it. And, I think one of them, the 30 quid one, you don't.
You get a mast set as well,
get a mast set with that one. You don't get any resin with it, but the two you get a bit of resin, different resin for different.
Yeah, one of them you get props, isn't it? It's because it's got the different props on it and stuff. I don't know which one it is now. Propeller, there you go. That's the Mark II-A, comes with the resin propellers.
Yeah.
As well, because it's got different props on it as well. So they've fixed that problem with the kit. So yeah, definitely. But again, I think bargain-wise, they've absolutely nailed it. We like old Hobby 2000. They do some really good reboxes, and again, I think they're turning into that thing of perhaps Ed-Ard-esque with it. So as long as they don't start doing limited editions, to.
And also the Dasbrook Submarine.
Yes.
I know it's a big kit. Matt hates it because they're very difficult to post.
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure that's probably about the cheapest you find on the internet at the moment.
So if you're into World War One subs,
yes,
where you place.
Yeah, it is a big thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is,
definitely.
Impressive once it's done, but yeah, it's a big kit.
Look good on the fireplace.
Yeah, that's it. And again, they're not a problem because they're thin.
Yeah,
they'll sit on any mantelpiece.
Yeah, exactly.
You could just have a little shelf on the wall or something with it on there and keep it out of the way, and it'd be absolutely fine. I don't think anybody does a case for one though that big though. That's the trouble.
No, you'd have to have one specially made. But so the specials are up as well. They'll be up till the end of the week probably, and then probably next week will be the last week for New Year because obviously it's Christmas Eve.
Yes.
And then obviously New Year's Eve, so be back on it in January. So so grab it while you can, and then get it out to you. We've got a couple of new pre-orders up as well.
Right, okay, let me just pop into pre-orders. Not that we weren't running slightly late, or I was, you guys weren't. Okay, so we've got, the Sawn-Off, still going very well.
We showed last week.
The Sod,
yes.
Yes.
Sawn-Off Daimler. But no, we've got the ECR.
Oh, right, yes, Tornadoes, yes.
Which has got some cracking schemes in it.
Yeah, you get 5 schemes in it, but for some reason I only can find any images of 3 of them.
Right.
And that's as preliminary.
Right. Yeah, as soon as we get some proper things, it'll get changed. But that's we've not even got a proper box art, have we? So
no.
Usual thing. I think that's due out next month.
Mm-hmm.
First quarter, I think, of 2022. So if you're interested, I think Nathan's got his name down for 12 of them or something. I don't know, 50, 20, whatever.
Yeah, you get some unique markings in it, though, don't you?
Also, if you see that, it actually says on here, it comes obviously with the PE and all the rest of it, pre-painted and all the rest of it, but it says painting mask.
I presume that because the schemes, some of them schemes are a bit complicated.
So you get resin parts, wheels, seats, the forward-looking infrared, and the eyeless system as well, and 5 marking. But interesting to see it's got a painting mask. So I'm wondering if it's going to come with a...
Don't know.
Was that
But
does that just mean the canopy mask then, or?
Well, yeah, maybe painting mask. Perhaps, yeah, it's lost in translation a little bit. Perhaps it is just for the canopy. But I was reading it. Maybe it was a mask for something on this. Because if that's a decal, you know. Interesting.
So if you're into tornadoes, then they're for you. If you like the German ones, because they do some cracking schemes, don't they?
Yes. And if you're wondering what the ECR is, it's that bit in there, isn't it?
I don't know.
That's the forward-looking infrared, isn't it? It's like a bleak scanner type thing, isn't it?
Don't know. You've got wrong people on. You need to speak.
Yeah, sorry, speak to the other lot. But it's because the Germans did all theirs slightly different to how we did ours. So, but yeah, I think it's just that bit under there. It's a little blister for the forward-looking infrared. Because obviously, I wonder if R1 had it on the fuselage and looked out the side. On the GR1A?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
Anyway, Harriers are good. Still going well with a Harrier. Expecting this one out early next year. Moving on, because I'll be digging myself a hole.
Yeah, you are. And we can't get you out of it because we don't know.
So yes, excited about that one as well. It should be really nice. So obviously that's Haskell kit that's coming back into stock.
Yep.
Very soonish. So again, if you want to get your name down on that one, definitely do that.
The new Tamiya Nissan 240Z.
Oh, that was it. The big one. This is.
Do you know what? Yeah, this is the 112th one. It's funny because when I saw this one a few weeks ago on the Tamiya pages, it was one of those a Nissan, Fair Lady.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, is that a lost in translation somewhere?
No, that's what they used to call them, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a Japanese muscle car called a Fair Lady.
Yeah, there were just 240Zs in UK, or or 260Zs or whatever they were. Yeah,
the 300 Zs, the 90s, within the 90s, 80s, 90s, the big like 3-litre twin turbo beast things. They were Fair Ladies. Yeah. Because I can remember, I think one of my first car kits I bought from Bitesize was one of them 300 Z. Are they ZXs or what? I can't remember what they are. Somebody will thinging me, correct me on it. Obviously, I can't remember, but they're a proper weapon. And there's one actually at a garage on the front, isn't there? There is. Yeah. Just one. There's a white garage on the front, I believe, work, and there is one part there. And that's called the Tamiya one called it a Fair Lady. So it must be a Japanese thing.
Yeah.
It's called it a 300. Whatever.
I love the way it's in period correct colours. Brown.
Burgundy.
Burgundy brown.
Yeah.
It's that colour from the only. It's like, was it that sort of I don't know, magnolia white was a popular colour as well in the 80s. Leyland white, fridge white.
I'm thinking more like that sick green they used to do and brown, whatever Leyland colours. I mean, that's from the 70s, isn't it? That's the 80s. That's 70s.
Yeah. Oh right, nice.
So just to remind people, this is the 1/12th scale, not the 1/24th one. So
this is the big one.
It's a big one.
Yeah, look, custom version of the 1970s classic. Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, you got one of them now. You're sitting on some money. A real one anyway. They're worth a ton.
Mini light wheels and some wheel arch extensions.
That's all you needed.
Very nice. And aerodynamic blisters for the headlights.
Don't you think it's a cool looking car?
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, definitely.
Cost a fortune nowadays, though, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but
I must admit, saying that, I was coming back from Cornwall on Monday and got caught in a little bit of a shower, and I had to have that secret snigger because Burke in a brand new Mazda MX-5.
Oh, all right.
Had his roof down. 70 mile an hour up the motorway, and you know what it's like this time of year. It's horrible. It's not just water, is it? It's all the crap off the roads as well. So literally, he's got a scarf on and a beanie hat, hunkered down, thinking, pull over, put your roof up, you tool. But no, clearly I've got my convertible and it's new because it's a brand new one. And I was like, you absolute weapon. I felt like overtaking him just to throw a bit more, into put me wipers all on and me washers front and rear. Just so to get some of that to help out as well, But
just aim for puddles to chuck.
Yeah, that's it. But he was right behind me. I'm not being funny. You know what my car's like and the size of my tyres, and he's literally behind me. I can't see anything. It's like a rooster tail behind me, but I've got this idiot and an MX, and it's only when he overtook me I realised he didn't have his roof on.
Can you imagine if you drive near a lorry? If it goes anyway, if it's like wet and he goes near an HGV or something, he's going to get apps. It's just going to wreck his interior. It's going to be.
That's what I thought. I thought it's brand new, and he's just. By the time he gets anywhere, because it's proper heavy spray. It was like proper, a little bit of almost aquaplaning on the motorways. And and he's there with the roof down, but he's literally jacket, scarf, and a beanie hat. And I'm like, why wouldn't you just pull over at the next possible point you can get to, put the roof up and all the rest of it? But no, he was going on his little journey. So bless his heart.
Hey, wonder if he thought, I'm absolutely soaking wet. There's not a lot of point now.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But I'm just thinking the inside of his car's going to rot.
Or his hood's broken and come pull it up.
It does.
Well, it's brand new, so you'd have thought it should have been all right, but.
I just wonder if it is a British thing with your convertible, whatever the weather. Even if it's hat, scarf, gloves, like say, woolly hat, big coat, whatever. But I've got the roof down because there's a slither of sun I can see.
That is the thing. In midwinter, it can be still below freezing, but if it's a dry day, people still put the roof down and go out for a drive and all the rest of it. As I say, it's got to be a British thing, isn't it? So
I don't know if any of our foreign contingent could fill us in. If in a colder climate, if it's a thing abroad as well, in Scandinavia or whatever, do you have your roofs down to?
The problem is in this country,
the sun's out and
we get so little sun. If you had your roof down when it was sunny, you just burn to a crisp, wouldn't you? Because we're not used to the sun. So
true.
Convertible. We ain't got the climate for a convertible car.
No, we don't. Not at all.
Three days.
Hey, I can back this up because I actually owned a convertible car. You know how many times I had the roof down on my Saab convertible? Twice.
Yes.
Because it was more pain in the arse to get it up and down, and it's just like you say, we get a week of sun here, so it's like, what's the point? And you can't leave your car anyway, so it's not like you just park up and jump out and go. You have to put the roof up and all that. It's just
I miss the days of me and you driving along in your convertible like Thelma and Louise.
Nice. I miss them days as well. I might get another one just so I could come down so we can cruise Torquay.
Yeah, cruising along the harbour front.
I got out the window. I don't think we were quite Crockett in tubs.
No, that's
I remember putting my coffee on it in the service station. And a normal car, you can open the door and it just opens. But no, that thing opened the door and the...
Well, it's the flush of air that gets the vacuum either of shutting it or open it, puts the roof, isn't it? And your drinks go flying.
It ended up being covered in coffee.
That's funny. Yeah, when you got yourself covered in coffee. Oh, God. Anyway.
Never mind.
That was on the way to somewhere, not on the way back.
So that's it for pre-orders, because obviously it's gone quiet because of the time of year, so we'll be starting that up again in the new year. So, that's about it, really. It might be a bit of a short show today because
I think we've got a couple little few questions. Ones.
They'll all come in when we've finished.
Yes. It will be, because everyone's going to think, I'll do the question tonight, and they'll read it in the morning. Sorry, everyone, I did warn you. So anyway, Fraser says, hi team, what thinners do you recommend when using Abteilung oils for weathering washes on Tamiya acrylic paints? Thanks for the advice. Keep up the great work.
I've got one here. Odorless. Any nice, mild, odorless thinner?
They do their own...
They do their own proper one, but this is just the old De La Rooney low odour thinners.
Yeah, I like that's the Abteilung.
Yeah, AK do one. Loads of companies do just want
to
that.
Be honest,
very mild.
Yeah, even the Tamiya, because the Tamiya one's quite mild. I always think it's quite a nice one. X20, so not X20A, because the A denotes the acrylic. This is just X20, and it has, and I have it here, the blue top. So that's the one you want as well. It's the blue top out of Tamiya.
Yeah.
What you don't want to do is use a really harsh abrasive one, and I can vouch for this. I was a muppet because for many years I couldn't get oils to work in the way I wanted, and that's because I was using cheap thinners. I was just using cheap B&Q or your big sort of department ones, thinners, or I was using I tried the Rustington's one, I think it was. That's really harsh. It's proper strong.
The thing is as well though, the trick is that you'll know, and I think I've probably showed it in my truck video whenever it goes up, is you don't need a lot of it. You just need your brush damp.
It's like a hint of
overly wet, damp. You need nothing on it. If you start flooding it, then you're going to cause yourself problems. But you just need to unload anything you've got on it, so it's just the minutest trace of it, and it will just activate it, and you can then control
Yeah, where you
wash,
go.
can't you? Control what you're doing with the oils rather than just put it on and wipe it off. Because I was same as you. Not even with thinners, even if I had proper thinners, I was using far too much thinners to manipulate the paint. It's just something you learn into it. And
it's one of those things. Oils are very much like, obviously with me clay wash, it's that thing of that it doesn't move and it's quite strong, but then as soon as it rehydrates, it just slides off. So if you're trying to do sort of, to be honest, I've got it all over this, the sort of streaking techniques, it's that thing of, it's almost like Matt says, it's not even damp, it's like, what's less than damp? Mildly moist. It's not even moist, is it? It's like it is that thing. It's almost like you would breathe on it type of dampness onto your brush. And then you can get some really nice streaks with it, and to do grime and dirt and to move it around and stuff like that. But as soon as it got that little bit too much, it wipes off because it can't grip.
I know people bit thin as in one of them, and I dip the brush that I'm using into it. Then if I wipe as much as I possibly can off onto a piece of tissue, I'll probably still go about 10 times too much on the brush.
That's the trouble.
Then what you need. So like you have to try and literally make it as dry as possible, don't you? Your brush.
Because what I tend to do, to be honest, I have like me working trousers, I call them, and I'm literally just up and down for ages.
Beat it on my hand.
Yeah, you just keep brushing, just get rid of as much as you possibly can off of it. But you'll find as well, the great thing about oils, I've often said, is that it's the gift that keeps giving. Because once it's going, you can go for miles. I remember dry brushing the entire of this and working around all the details on one brush. And it was that thing we're going around. And to be honest, you'll see it on here. I've given this a full dry brush as well with grey. Over the top of it all, just to knock it all back and to give it that sort of sort of altogether muted effect with it as well. So I did the trick. It's here from earlier. It's onto cardboard, but again, like I said, it's not the thing where you want it all to leach out, because when you're dry brushing with it, you need to have a little bit of sort of moisture in this to make it work. But that, I never put any oil and any thinners near this at all. It's just brushed onto here, and then take it off your brush full, and then onto here to dry brush even more off, and here's the said brush, and then you're just going right the way over, and it just keeps giving and giving and giving. So if you've never used oils for dry brushing, it just be careful with it to start with, because it will keep going for ages. It's not like when you use Tamiya acrylics and within 2 seconds it's dried off and you have to reload, go again. It will keep going and going and going, and you can blend with it, and that's the nice thing. So you can get really into everything and get nice grimy type of effects with it, because it works really well with the wash, because it likes to grip to the wash for whatever reason, and then it sort of works together. So it's like a blending effect, I think.
I'll tell you what as well, for dry brushing, while we're talking about it, and obviously it's an oil-based paint, but enamels are brilliant for dry brushing with.
Yes.
I know they're out of fashion and nobody really uses them, but for dry brushing, if that's your sort of, you like that technique, and I think we've said it before, it's a technique that's really gone out of fashion, dry brushing.
It all enamels, isn't it? It doesn't matter what you mention. It doesn't matter if it's paint, obviously, with washes and anything at all. Everyone's like, oh, it's an enamel, wouldn't use it. But the enamels are actually really good, because it stays wetter longer, so it gives you a better playtime with it all.
Yeah, so that's it. And like I say, for dry brushing, I think they're absolutely perfect. They're just brilliant for it. So yeah, there is a place for them. Again, I know they're not in fashion, like I've just said, but if you've got them, think about it, because you can use them. You can make washes out of them, can't you? You can make enamel washes.
Absolutely,
people are buying enamel washes, and if you've got your own tinlets of umbral paint, you've got it ready made. You can make your own anyway. It's an old school back in the 70s.
Well, not being 60s, funny, there's certain companies out there that have made a career out of thinning paint. I know, but I've got to say it, but it's true. But all you could just do it yourself. I don't forget, I'm just as lazy as the next one. I'm quite happy to use a bottle of Jollop that somebody's pre-thinned and gone for me, and I'll do it. But that's all it is. So, and again, like we said, it's very fashionable, isn't it? At the moment, enamels are not fashionable at all.
As a paint.
Give it a few years, it will come round, I can guarantee it, because everything else has. You look at, we're into lacquer paints now. Who would have thought, I'm not being funny, at the turn of the millennium, we were all, don't forget, going to be banned from using enamels, lacquers. You weren't going to be able to buy them all because they were all bad for you and bad for the environment. And we were all going to be on, like, literally water-based acrylics. But that all went out the window, and slowly we've gone back the other way. So next up will be enamels. So somebody will come up with a really good thinner that dries within. We know that actually you can do it with rapid drying thinners, works really, really well. But if somebody does a sweet spot of a range of thinners and a range of enamel paints that work, there's a lot of force for them, because one, they're as hard as nails.
Yeah.
They're really easy to spray because, you know, they're like lacquers. They just keep giving. They don't clog up and start drying. You don't get needle tip and dry and all the rest of it. So, you know, I think there's a place for it in this hobby.
Like I said, it's always the smell, weren't it? And everybody says lacquers.
yeah.
Lacquers smell, but I don't think they're bad. Enamels just really smell.
Again, I think
if you can get enamels that don't smell and do dry quick.
Yeah. A low odour, fast drying enamel, you'd be good to go on that one. So there you go. Wait for a new product range from PM called Low Odour Fast Drying Enamels.
Watch this space.
Available in all car colours, probably. But yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, things come in and out of fashion and all the rest of it. But oils, it's one of those areas where you do need to practice, because you need to understand it. Like we were saying, how damp you need your brush to be. You know, you definitely don't want any, you know, too much in there. When you're using it even as a wash, you know, letting it dry off a bit before you start playing with it. Let it bite. Because otherwise, if you use enamels as a wash, oils as a wash, they just wipe away straight away. So you need to let them dry in a little bit to get a bit of bite. Then you can play with them and manipulate them and do things. So again, it's one of those areas where practice with it, understand it, know how it works and how the effect you want of how to get it, and then you're good to go with it. But a lot of people try them like I did before, and they just never really worked for me. So I gave up. And then I came back to it a few years ago, and now I've used it on this thing. I won't go back. You know, I've used it all over that one. You know, it's one of those areas where you sort of, you know, got a feel for it now, and it works for me. So
yeah,
alternate clay-based washes are available.
Are they? I don't think there is another clay-based wash out there. Just saying.
Well, that's
anyway,
what I'm saying. An alternate to the oil washes is.
Oh right, you could use a clay one. Sorry, I thought you were saying there was another clay wash.
Oh
no. There's one that pretends to be clay, but I don't think it is. Anyway, right, okay, Darren says, hi, just seen a question in my instructions for his Edard 0 148 scale. This is the new one, I take it. And it literally calls out for the cockpit colour as being number 1. But what is it? Don't they say? Isn't it green? It's in Imperial Japanese Navy green.
It should be XF71.
71. That's what I used on mine.
Yeah, because that is
the colour for it.
Yeah, everybody used it for RAF, but it's actually Japanese interior colour for World War II planes, isn't it?
Just tell you on the instructions somewhere what number 1 is.
Yeah, normally they have a thing on it.
Yeah, but if you actually look at his little thing, he is correct. You know, normally it's got that little bracket here. Hold on, let me put it on full screen. Hold on, let me just duck under here. You see in here, if you can just about work it out. Hold on, let me inflate. There we go. Look at that. You see, it's normally got this, isn't it? That gives you the actual number, as in, like, you know, what's that, H12?
Yeah.
It looks like MMP 047, but it doesn't. So it says in here, it just says number 1.
Oh, yeah.
So it hasn't given the actual colour call out. Look, it has for that area, and that's that weird blue, greeny, turquoisey colour. But that, it hasn't. So, yeah, he's correct.
No, there is a colour chart.
Oh, is there?
When you get, I was just looking online. If you where the sprue pull out is.
All right.
She's got no numbers on it. It's got no numbers on it. No, 1 equals 50% C55, 50% C530.
All right, forget it. Just get yourself some Tamiya
So
XF71.
on that page you've got, on that drawing you've got there, that he's shown, he's cut it off, but the top right-hand corner, it tells you what the mixing is for the.
Right. And also, just to point out, I don't know if you can see this, the difference in the colour between the old and the new one.
Do you know
Tamiya, at some point, have you changed them? Because they're both the same, but one of them, as you can see, is a lot lighter than the other. The new one's a lot lighter.
AK, get the AK one.
Get the AK one. To be honest, I did mine in the lighter one. Because again, somebody mentioned to me they changed the colour of it, and I have they? But there you go. Look, they're both. The right way around might help. There you go. XF71s. But again, they are different colours.
They've changed a lot of formulas though
They've
for some
changed
reason.
over the
Like I
years.
say,
But you say I haven't bought that in years, so
olive drab's changed, and I think something else has as well for the colours. Because I don't know. There's a reason for it. Because I know, or we know, don't we, Andy, that Aquarius are changing a load of their formulas, and they've changed them as well from what they used to be to what they are, and they're like, I don't know. It's a bit off. I don't know if it's a pigment thing. I have no idea.
They're all doing it, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but yeah.
Yeah. So the reason why it says number 1 is because it's a mixture, and it does tell you at top of your page.
Colour. Right. Okay. There we go. Or say Tamiya XF71. You could be good to go. Chris says, what do you guys think as modelers and shop owners with Edard releasing Desert Babes again and again and again and again, now with a poster? I'm a modeler, but also I'm a kit collector. I enjoy having a varied and sometimes quite rare kits in the stash, but recently I think he means gone off Edard a bit with their limited editions, which now seem to be that there is no limit. Do you think that this is the way they are going to operate now with their so-called limited editions?
No. They've done it twice with 2 kits, and that's the Tornado and the MI24.
Yeah.
I must say they bought out the Tornado 7 twice, haven't they? But that don't come with any extras, does it? To what the first one did.
No.
Whereas the second 48 scale one did, didn't it? Was it a poster? Was it just some?
Yeah, the second version was different box art, wasn't it, on the Tornado, the 48 scale one? Didn't it come with a poster?
Yeah, Nathan's got it. Come with them little. Is it like postcards or? I can't remember.
Postcards. Yeah, weren't posters, were they?
Yeah.
Oh right.
And then obviously the MI24, the 72nd one came out twice, didn't it? And now they've done it with the 48th one because that's coming back out again as well. So
it's very difficult, isn't it? I think because at the end of the day, they didn't say what the limited was. If they had turned around and said it's like one of 2,000 kits, then, fair enough. And if they'd done it, I don't know, properly, perhaps it would have been a numbered certificate in the kit saying it's one of whatever, like you do when you buy prints and various things to it. They never said what it was. We've got a little bit of an idea, and I don't want to go into the details of it, how it actually works between manufacturers. I haven't spoken to a few about it now. But usually what happens is there's a deal in place that says that obviously the original kit owner, Revell in this case with the Tornado, will release it between certain dates. There's usually a cooling off period, and then Revell supply Edard with X amount of kits, and Revell will not sell that kit either between period of dates of blah and blah. So we don't know. It may have been a case of like the 48 scale one. They bought 5,000 of them for all we know, and then their first release of it was 2,500. The second release of it can 2,500. It's still limited to that amount. How they've gone with it. Again, from a kit buyer's perspective and somewhat from a shop owner's, because it does make us look a little bit like idiots when we have to turn around and say, that limited edition when we all sold you last year, it's available again as another limited edition. So don't get us wrong, some way it's a little bit annoying for us as well, that it didn't. Obviously it's handy if you didn't get it on the first one, and there you were having to pay through the roof of it on Fleabay. And now all of a sudden the limited edition that everyone thought was limited has come back out again. I think personally it's a little bit of a kick in the teeth. But they haven't said what it is, how many it's limited to. So we don't know how it works ins and out with them. But like Matt has pointed out, they've only done it twice. They did it on the Hind, as I said, and then obviously they've done it on the Tornadoes. So if it becomes a regular event, I think people might get a little bit narky about it, and I would as well. And if you are a kit collector, we often speak about, kits going out of stock very quickly. We're the first ones to say grab it now because you probably won't see it again. So that's the information we're given at the time as when we say it. It is a bit annoying, to be honest, when 6 months down the line we hear, oh, it's coming out again.
It used to be at one time that when they bought out limited editions, they were out for a couple of months, and you couldn't buy them again.
No.
Nowadays, they seem to hang around for years, don't they, some of them?
Yeah, because I've got some of theirs down there, which are the original limited editions, if you like, from the last 10 years. And some of them are really sort of quite sought after now. And they never did come back again. And these were the Hasegawa reboxing. Because, again, we never saw, like the Harrier their original version. It never came back, did we? We saw like the Draken, that never came back. The Sky Raider never came back. Certain ones, because I've got one down in there, I've got the NATO version of the Starfighter, never came out again.
All the F-14s.
Yeah, that's it. The F-14s, they were one-offs, weren't they? The Academy Rhinos, as far as we know, were never done again, the F-4s.
Yeah.
To me, they were true limited editions, but I wonder if they've been caught out of how popular the Tornado's been.
Maybe, yeah, because we did say that, didn't we?
It's always supply and demand in it, and at the end of the day, I wonder if it's caught them out. I'm definitely with you with the Asagawa kits, because what's the latest one? We had the B-25, weren't they? Yeah. The Angels of Mercy. Yeah. We've never seen them again, and we had the Marauders and, like you say, all the 48 stuff that they've reboxed, even down to probably the B-24 Liberators when they were doing them Coastal Command ones. They've never come back, but it just seemed like, obviously, the Hind originally came back, the 72nd Zvezda one. They did 2 runs of that, didn't they? And then I definitely know the 48th one again is coming back out, and both of the Desert Babes. To be fair, I don't think the second run of the 48th Desert Babe actually counts as like this one does, because you did get the little post and different box art. As far as I know with the Desert Babe, it's just completely the same kit.
Yeah.
So there is a slight difference, but I can see why people are knocked with it, because of it was this limited edition, and then again, I don't know. Didn't we hear that they had some left anyway, so they just reboxed them?
That was the rumour we had, is they had a load left over, so they decided to release them. And to be honest with you, it has been our most popular kit that we've done this year. And again, it's one of those ones where we have to make a decision somewhat quite early on of how many do you think we need. I don't think any of us thought it would ever be as popular as it has been, because it literally went mental. And I think a reason a lot of it went so mad is because we thought it was going to be limited. So it's got great decals, it's got a little bit of aftermarket in there, and it was just the kit of the moment, if you like. Everybody wanted it. So I can understand why it went mad. But did it go mad because we all thought that would be it? So seeing it again, it was a bit like, oh, is it come back?
Yeah, but we didn't do bad on the preset, like pre-order for the second time round.
No.
We're thinking, oh God, everybody must have one after the first time. How many were sold? And obviously, we weren't the only company doing it. There was other companies doing it, and then obviously we did it again, thinking, oh, we might do a limited number. I don't know. You know what I mean? And then it just went a bit, not obviously as many, but it was still quite successful. So people obviously want it. That's what I'm saying. It's supply and demand, isn't it? If we'd have got 5 sales off it, then it's a bit of a bomb from our point of view. But we didn't. We got quite a few. So whether people were buying 2s of them, 3s of them, 1 of them, or they bought one first time and they've got another one, I don't know. I can't answer that. It's down to people obviously purchasing, isn't it? But I don't know. Who'd have thought a Tornado was so popular?
Yeah. See how I was saying before about how they seem to be lingering along in the Eddard kits, the limited editions now. I'm just looking at what they have got that are still lingering around, like the Spitfires and the 109s. But they're all their own kits, aren't they? So obviously they don't need to buy kits. But then, so when does it not become a limited edition when they keep?
They will go, won't they? I think, like the few and the older Griff. I'm just looking at my posters up there, so I remember what they are. Obviously, like I say, they're their own kits, aren't they? I think it's when they're reboxing other people's kits. To be fair, if they own their moulds and they're their kits, for me, they can do what they want with them. They can rebox them.
But wonder if they ought to call them more like first edition rather than limited edition.
Perhaps that's a translation thing, because it's a Czech company. I don't know. It'd be nice for Eddard to actually come out and say why, and be a bit more transparent with it, I suppose. Why it has, but. Yeah. You can't say from answering his question, it's not every limited edition kit has come out twice, because as far as I can remember, it's been 2 or 4. Yeah. 4 really. One's dubious, which is the 48th Tornado, which I think is probably one is on the back, because you do get extras, different box art. But the Hinds and the 72nd Tornado are the only ones I can remember that's done it. They've redone it again. So I will stand to be corrected if somebody can ping it, but as far as the goes,
That's the only ones I can remember,
Again, the thing is with the there's like the Spitfires and the 109s they've done and things like that, they've also been dual combo limited edition kits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So dog's got an itch. Hold on.
Your mates are here because it's tea time in Trump.
It is. It's tea time in our world. But no, so that's the thing. So I think that's how they've done the limited editions with those, because obviously it's their kits and they're going to rebox them 1,000 times throughout decades to come. So by doing them as a dual combo, special box art, the bits and pieces in there.
Yeah, the thing is though, from a collector, right, you're not really collecting the styrene, you're collecting the box.
Yeah, that's right.
So you've got to think, we've gone on about box art for the past year and a half, 2 years, I don't know however long it is, and they've got it nailed with box art at the end of the day. With the limited edition box arts, they haven't really failed, have they? I think there's very few that's a bit boring. I'll say it that way. But I think even now, I think they're a bit few and far between, and especially like I say, the Spitfires and the other stuff that we've got the posters of are just fab. They're just amazing box art. So I think you're collecting it for the box, aren't you? Not
yeah,
kit.
Definitely.
I know it's a full package, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
Very good.
Then also used to be nice when you got the box art with the kit. I know it was a nightmare to post them out.
That's where that fell down. Yeah, but you could still do a little one and put it in the bottom of the box, like what AFE Club have done, and Great Wall. They put a little box art in, don't they? And stick it in the bottom, and then you can stick it up on your wall or frame it or do what you want to do. But I think they've gone down the route of like the posters, haven't they? So you just buy a whatever size it is poster to do the same thing with. So it's from a sales point of view, they get 2 sales for 1.
Yeah,
you're selling the kit, and then people like the box art, so they're going to the store and buying the box art poster thing, aren't they? So, yes, I've got a question for you, Mr. Philip,
right. Yes.
From our friend Mr. Rob McCluskey. He left a message on the answer machine. What gloss silver or aluminium or whatever would you recommend to paint one of these in? Because he's got one and he wants to know what to paint it in, I think, was his question.
When I do mine, I'm in a choice at the moment. Obviously, I don't know what the plastic is yet, and I'm, actually got a hold of one. But when I do, I'll make the decision. It's either going to be Molotov Chrome, and then weather the hell out of it.
Right.
So you've got that initial, because it was shiny once, you assume. And so do it that way. So you could either do it as looking new or beaten up. But I think if Molotov, the great thing is you have to give it a good couple of weeks to properly dry off. But once it is, you can weather it. But don't try and weather it for a good couple of weeks because it's soft for ages.
Yeah.
So after that, then, to be honest with you, one of the good ones would probably be the Super Metallics. They've got a really strong silver in that range, which I find is too strong for most things.
Super Chrome Silver.
Is it Super Chrome Silver?
Yeah,
One of them I've got. Yes, it is, because I don't use it. So because I find it's too strong. It's really, really strong silver colour. I think that would work really well for it. Or you could go down the metal routes.
Polished aluminium.
And do polished aluminium, those types of ones, chrome, literally, and do it in metallizers, and then obviously make sure it's totally dried off before you go through masking it over it and all the rest of it, and plate it and do it that way. To be honest, because if you're going to do it any type of weathering at all, like we usually do, it doesn't have to be anything nice. Because you're going to weather it and you're going to beat it up and it's going to have washes and various things over it. So that's why you could probably get away with just normal super metallics, different versions of, rather than going down the thing of saying you wanted pristine metal finishes onto it.
Are you gloss blacking yours before you metalise it?
Yeah.
So there you go. I thought you would be, but I just wanted to just answer that.
So I will use probably X1's Hamia because it's great for it. It's really forgiving. Or as you say, LP1 if you want to lacquer gloss it as well. It's probably even quicker. But I would definitely gloss it all black first, purely because when you're working with silvers and that, you can see where you're going.
Yeah.
You can see exactly how much you've got on and where you're going, and it's a lot easier to work with it. But also it gives you a perfect finish to plate if you like to go over.
Starship Filth?
Starship Filth, yes, definitely for that. Anyway, last question sort of answers this one. Thanks, guys, for getting my Razor Quest and special. Thanks for the tracking information for the perfect grade Falcon as well. So
yes,
that's him sorted. He's going to be happy with all that lot when it turns out.
That answers the question about tracking does work.
Hey, so he'll be watching this tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we've recorded it on the Tuesday, so it's gone out today. It went out today, so he should get them for Thursday, all being well. So
there you go.
He'll be a happy camper. Christmas.
So, yeah, definitely on its way. So everybody who keeps messaging me saying, when are the Razor Quests in? Because I've seen everywhere else. There you go. That answers it.
We
literally they are here.
Turned up this morning. Special delivery from the supplier himself.
From the supplier, brought them round himself because
nice
there's that many of them.
So he brought them all, yeah.
Sorry, Steve, we couldn't put them both in the same box. It'll be obvious when they arrive why.
Yeah.
Right.
2 separate boxes.
Yeah, you'll see why. 100%. But yeah, it's all good. That's it.
Very good. There we go. Well, look, considering it was a short show, we've gone over an hour. So that's not bad going.
That was it. Don't know how we do it.
That's how we do it. Cool. Very good. Right, so next week will be our last PM show before Christmas and obviously New Year and the bits and pieces like that. So we'll probably come up with something special, something festive for you, and then obviously we're going to have the show afterwards as well. So if you've got any questions you want to know, we could have sort of a free open show, couldn't we, to answer people's questions. So post up your questions either on social media if you're not a member or on the site and that, and we'll put them all together and can answer some questions and that, and perhaps we'll have our versions of kit of the year and various bits and pieces. I know we're going to do something like that with flooring models as well.
Yep.
So but yes, we can definitely do the PM's point of view from it.
Yeah.
As it makes its way through, so that would be good. So there we go. We will leave it right there. So don't forget, you get all your usual bits and pieces over at the actual store at PM Models UK. Just pop that in there. You can see that one. You say we've got all the deals going down in there. Remember, obviously, this time of year with postage and that, please allow a little bit more time because I think officially the last postage day was today, wasn't it, in the UK, to guarantee before Christmas.
Was it?
I think so. I think it was something like the 14th or 15th.
Was it? Oh, right. I don't know, to be honest. Yeah.
So it's a little bit different from us because we send them tracked and signed, so they tend to get there pretty much. We send it on a 48-hour, it'll get there in 48 hours, but for normal post. But please bear in mind that if you are ordering a little bit closer to Christmas, we cannot guarantee it'll get there. So, but yes, all good stuff.
Cool.
Sorted. Right, okay then guys, well we'll leave it right there. Thank you for joining us this afternoon on this special show. Sorry, I'll just mute that. It's not you, normally it's one of you doing that. But we will see you all again very, very soon. So till later everybody, happy modelling, take care, bye.
Bye.